Jai Hind class. So today we'll look at the transformation of sentence, the next topic, which is direct to indirect speech. So first let's understand what is the direct speech. Direct speech is a reported speech which is reported in the actual words of the speaker. Right? Of the speaker over here means the person about whom you are reporting. If you use his or her own actual words, then that speech will be called a direct speech. One identifying feature of a direct speech is the presence of inverted commas or quotes over here, right? So he said, comma, inverted comma, quotes, I am coming. So this is your direct speech. What is an indirect speech? Indirect speech is you are reporting someone else's words, but in your own way, and as per the tense of the time that you are reporting at that you are reporting at. So if for example he said I am coming will become he said that he was coming. So he said that he was coming. So the identifying feature of an indirect speech will be the presence of that, right, before the reported speech, and the reported speech is actually conveyed in the words of the person who is reporting. Right, so you consider, you make several changes to it accordingly. What changes and how to do that? That we'll see in the steps that I've come up with for direct to indirect speech transformation. So I have devised 4 steps for you guys to help you guys. These are very simple steps. See, direct speech to indirect speech transformation is the most simplest of all transformations according to me. Because if you follow these 4 steps, there's no way that you can go wrong. So what is the first step? Is that you remove the comma, inverted commas and quotes and replace comma with that, with the word that. So example would be, he said I am sitting. So he said, comma, inverted, you remove comma, inverted commas, and he said, instead of comma you say he said that, right? Next is, you change the tense of the reported speech. You change the tense of the reported speech if the reporting verb is in the past tense. What is the reporting verb? Reporting verb is this word, right? In a direct speech, the reporting verb is the verb just before the comma. Said, says, will say. Said would be past tense. Says will be or is saying will be present tense. Will say would be future tense. So depending upon the reporting tense of the reporting verb, you will decide whether you have to change the tense of the reported speech, the part which is within the quotes or inverted commas. Depending upon your reporting verb, the tense of the reported speech will be changed accordingly. And what are the 2 simple sub rules for that? If the reporting verb is in the past tense, then you have to change the tense of the reported speech. If the reporting verb is in present or future tense, for example in this way, he says, right? So if the reporting verb is in present or future tense, then no change is required in the reported speech. Step 3 would be, you make changes in pronoun, that is I becomes he or she. How you will do it, I will show you with an example. Step 4 is changes in time. Now we'll see for each example of past, present and future tense reporting verb, we'll see how the changes are made. For example, first we'll see when the reporting verb is in let's say past tense. He said, comma, inverted commas, quotes, I am sitting, right? So you remove inverted comma and you replace comma with that. He said that. Then you look at the reporting verb, said over here. So it is in past tense, right? So you have to change the tense of the reported speech. Now before doing that, you change the pronoun. So what I have done over here is that I have given you a simple table for most of the commonly used pronouns and time, the changes in time that you have to make. For example, I will become he or she, we will become they, us will become them, my, mine, yours will become his or hers, you and will become I. How you will become I and how I will remain as it is as I. These 2 exception cases I will show you with a different example, right? Today will become that day or the same day. Yesterday becomes the day before or the previous day. Tonight becomes that night. Last night becomes the night before or the previous night. Tomorrow becomes the next day. Ago becomes before. Now or just becomes then. This becomes that. Here becomes there. Hence becomes thence. Things like that, right? So let's see an example. So he said, I am sitting. So I will become he or she, right? In this sentence, there's no specific information given as to identify the gender of the person about whom the reported speech has been taken from whom, right? So you can either take he or she, right? So he said that he, now because the reporting verb said over here, this is in past tense, that's why I am will become he was. I will become he, am will become was, right? Sitting. He said that he was sitting. He says, I am sitting. Now over here says is in, again, this is the reporting verb and this is in present tense. So in present tense you do not have to change the tense of the reported speech, but you do have to make the change in pronoun in time. He says that I will become he. He says that he, am will not be used as am itself, but it will be used in the same fashion when it, as far as tense is concerned. So he says that he is sitting. He will say I am sitting. Again, this will say identifies your reporting verb to be in future tense. He will say that I will become he. He will say that he. Again, no change in the reported speech. So am will remain, that is present tense will remain in present tense. He will say that he is sitting. So now we'll see, as I said earlier, in some of the cases where a pronoun I will remain as same as it is I. So that happens when I is being used in the reported speech and in reporting speech as well, both. For example, I said I will go. Or rather make it more simple. I said I am going, right? So again, what you will do? I said, in place of comma you will add that, you will remove the inverted commas and quotes. And over here in this case, because this person reporting and the person reporting about both are the same, right? So I said that I am will, because the reporting verb is in the past tense, am will become was going. I said that I was going. Now we'll see what happens when the reporting verb is in the past tense, but the tense of the reported speech that is either in the, let's say, in the future tense. I said, comma, inverted comma, I will go. How will you transform that? I said, again, comma replaced with that. And because this is in past tense, now you will have to change this. I said that I will, the past tense of will is would go. Right? Now we'll see an example where the reporting verb is in past or is in present or future tense, and the reported speech is in past tense. He says, Hari says, I went there. Or rather, I was here. Right? So he says I was here. So what will happen? What we will do? What will happen is that Hari says that pronoun change we will have to make. He Now tense change you will not have to make. Was, again place and time change you have to make. Here will become there. He says that he was there. So changes in time and place will have to be done accordingly. So I think this covers most of it. So in this way, whenever let's take an example of we and us as well, right? So as our last example, she said we are coming, right? So this will be transformed as she said that, because reporting verb is in past tense, we will becomes they, because as I said, irrespective of the reporting verb, pronoun time and place change you will have to make while transforming direct to indirect. He said that we will become they, and now because the reporting verb is in past tense, are will become were. They were coming. So I hope this clears most of your doubts. In case you still have any doubts, please reach out to me. I will try my best to clear all those doubts and questions. And I'll be sending you assignments along with the video. Please do it. And thank you, class. That's it.